Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Pavs, a right-scene VTuber and artist, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of work on a comic page. Now, I've got the line art more or less done for this guy, so now it's mainly going to be shading and, well, more shading after that. It's just going to be shading and filling the inks, so to speak. So without much further ado, let's get right into it. Yeah, something I've been researching a lot about, like, what... So it turns out that, shockingly, printing stuff on a piece of paper is going to be much different than actually putting it on a... What do you call those things again? Computer screens, yes. Okay, so... It turns out that actually printing something on paper has many more requirements. Well, requirements might not be the right word. More like things to keep in mind compared to just like publishing it on the computer. Which is bad news for me, because as you may or may not know, depending on how long you've been following me on this channel, I tend to publish a lot of stuff on the computer, which means I have relatively little experience with publishing stuff not on the computer. But, thanks to the kindness of strangers on the internet, I figured out a couple of interesting things. Yeah, number one being that apparently... This arm is like way too small, isn't it? This arm feels too small. Is there time to fix it? Yeah, I think there's time to fix it. We can fix this. Come on now. Alright, hang on. But yeah, one of the things that I've noticed, and this is actually a good time to tackle that particular topic, is that apparently aliasing, or anti-aliasing, is super important in printed stuff. So, like, if you want to do quality printed stuff, you're going to need to learn, or at least I needed to learn how to work with... No, hang on. This does not feel right. No. No, I don't think there's any... No, I did this with like a 3D diagram, so that should be fine, but like, why does it feel so wrong? I'm gonna trust my gut on this one. I'm gonna try and fix this now, while I can. Why are you an ellipse? Anyway, hang on, let me just quickly separate this joint from that joint. You'll get the rest of your arm back soon enough, I promise. To be fair, the last thing you want to hear at like a hospital is something like that. You'll get the rest of your arm back soon. First of all, how soon would be my first question, and my second question is, why does it need to go at all? Okay, here's a better idea than what I was just trying to do. I'm just gonna go ahead and like draw more arm, like directly. I think that might be the best choice right now. Right here, right now, right here, right now. I miss listening to Fatboy Slim. I need to start doing that more again. Oh, did I accidentally grab something else here? I think I did. I definitely did. Okay. Well, that's exciting. How do I fix this? I'm thinking we just kind of like grab the part of the hand that isn't the fist. The fist seems relatively well sized. Like the fist is as big as it needs to be. It's just the rest of the arm that needs elongation. No, now see, that's too long. That feels too long to me. Around here, maybe? I don't know. I've been told that I have a tendency to draw stubbier characters, likely because I've been drawing so much of my Sona these days. So, I need to be a little bit on the lookout for that. Not to mention, this arm's starting to look a little bit thin. Hang on, I'm gonna widen this part a little bit. Oop. Wrong eraser. Alright, grab this again. I see we've actually missed out a couple of things here and there, which might be a problem soon, but we'll figure it out or we won't. I'm telling you, that's become like my go-to phrase these days. Mainly because it's just so applicable in so many different situations. I don't know. One of these days it's not you know, so far in my usage of that phrase, I've had more situations where we find out rather than we won't. Or like more situations where we figure it out compared to situations where we don't. But those situations where we don't figure it out are harrowing. Alright, let's just fill this here. Alright, that should work. It's a quick little patch job, but I think we've definitely done what we needed to do here. We've accomplished everything we needed to do. Yeah, the other thing that's tripping me up is when working in black and white, how just different everything is. And I don't mean, I mean, obviously, like, it's gonna be different on account of, like, you need to, I mean, I personally enjoy making the values a little bit more dramatic. You can see that here with, like, the way I'm doing the shadows. It's much more, like, weighty than I normally do them. Like, I enjoy cell shading, but this is, like, I feel like I need to exaggerate the shadows to some extent, you know? Oh yeah, here's another fun thing about working with aliased brushes. The fill tool, which was once my loyal companion and steadfast friend, has now become my worst enemy. Because of the fact that, when you... Okay, so here's... I'm going to, like, put this in a little corner over here, so that we can quickly undo it once I show you what I mean. If you turn off anti-aliasing by pressing this bit here, you will see that we have, like, very clean, pixelated kind of jaggies. Compared to anti-aliased, where the jaggies are kind of like grayed out. Now, I beg you to compare the difference between filling in the jaggy one, that's relatively clean. That'll work. That's definitely like working, compared to the aliased one. Aha! So we see here we have these almost imperceptible, but still very much present little white lines. Those things were the bane of high school Pab's existence. I didn't understand alias versus anti-alias here. I didn't have Clip Studio Paint back then. I just had Photoshop. So these confused the hell out of me. But there are solutions. There are solutions. You can increase the area scaling, which basically means that where normally the ink would stop, it goes like 1 pixel further. So if you area scale by 2, it goes 2 pixels further than it normally would. Jaggies essentially eradicated. Good job, pat yourself on their back. We can carry on. Now the issue that we run into more like, is the following. I use vector layers, which are, how do I put this? They're very smart little things. They're very clever little things. They are essentially like, if you know what vector art is, you kind of know where I'm going with this. Essentially, instead of having pixels on a screen, it's the computer telling the program where the pixels are going to need to be, which is very different. It's like the difference between, how do I put this? It would be a little bit like the difference between using a hologram, like using a projector, and using a... No, I think that's actually a decent idea. It's like using a projector versus directly painting it on top. So like if you use a projector, you can still like move around the projection afterwards, but if you paint it directly on top, that's, once you paint it, it's there. It's there forever now. But the vector layer thing, what it essentially does is I've rigged my vector layer so that it actually tells the ink when to stop flowing. So in a very smart way, it essentially stops the ink in the very middle of the line, which is good if I'm using the, the aliased pixels. Unfortunately, when it goes anti-aliased, that actually works against me because now I have to worry about like, how do I put this? It's like I have to worry about it being not big enough so that it eradicates the white jaggies, but it being too big and accidentally spilling over the vector layer. Hence, there's a dilemma. In any case, that's just something I gotta get over myself. The fact of the matter is, this is essentially the way I did it way before I discovered what vector layers are. So this is essentially like just me returning to the ancient traditions that I'd uncovered during my high school years. Oh yeah, and as you can see, the reverse is also true. If you fill in a black line with like white ink, it leaves behind a little white bit. And thus, we live on. But yeah, that's essentially the breakdown of of some of the stuff that I've been learning about making comics. But otherwise, it's kind of cool. I still need to get the page size right, but the good thing is that because of being who I am, I can't just rescale the art afterwards. And that's another benefit of working with vector layers, is that even if I rescale the art, it's not going to lose any quality. Well, small perks for hard times. That sounds like an award-winning country album from the 60s, like small perks for hard times. Alright, here we go. Alright, here we go. Yeah, sometimes it does chafe that I draw like such detailed clothes wrinkles, but I have to hide them under the shadows. But that's how it is sometimes. The important part is that it looks good in the end. Now, there's something I'm not satisfied with in this part here. Oh yeah, that's another way to get rid of the white jaggies, is if you just directly do the paint bucket on top of them. But I find that to not be particularly reliable. Also, the shadow would actually be casting from this side on account of over here is the ray gun. Right, okay. Oh yeah, that's another fun thing as well, like, other vector layers get in the way once you're filling it. That's a thing that's been, like, that's just a normal vector layer gripe. That's not necessarily because of the way that I'm doing this. There we go. I missed a spot here. Oh yeah, I found out that apparently today is the day that old guy, that old guy, I forgot his name. The dude who wrote A Christmas Carol. Today is the release date of The Christmas Carol back in 1846, I think. Which is funny. I actually was in a production of The Christmas Carol as a teenager. I helped out with the production and I played one of the characters. I think I played the character of Scrooge's mentor figure. I don't remember his name. But yeah, I was like a very jolly old man. which I think is very appropriate. I think that's... I'm either going to digivolve as I get older. I'm going to evolve into either a jolly old man or... I don't know, one of those dudes who lives off the grid. I think that those are the two main life paths ahead of me. I hope it's jolly old man. I don't think they let you live stream if you live off the grid. At least not easily. I mean, I guess that would also depend on like how off the grid we're talking, right? Like, I imagine there has to be different extents of off the grid living. You know, there's like different levels, power levels, if you will. There we go. I could also try and learn to just paint without using the, what do you call, without using the fill tool, but that's honestly, I feel like that's a bit of waste for me. I feel like that's still out of my range. I need to go through like a training arc to do that, and right now I am not really in the mood. I will go through it in training arc for just about everything, but I need to be like in the right headspace first. To increase the area scaling again. There we go. There is another thing that I could try and do, and I think I'll probably try doing this the next one around. I could always try to apply the anti-aliasing after I finish the panel. So what that would essentially look like, I think, you can switch whether the brush you're using in object node. Thanks to the fact that I'm using vector layers. They are so handy, you guys. Thanks to the fact that I'm using vector layers, you can actually switch in the middle of production, like whether you want to go aliased or anti-aliased, and with minimal kind of like loss of quality. But then the main issue would be, as I ran into with here, the main issue would be actually filling in the colors. And, you know, if you switch from alias to anti-aliased, will the colors still remain as crisp? Well, I say colors. There's no colors in this page. It's a black and white line art, but you know what I mean. But yes, quite the conundrum. Okay. Yeah, I think another thing that I can do, or try to do at least, is actually try to retrace some of these lines that I draw, so that I can they don't get affected by the vector layers anymore. It's a little complicated, but it works. But yeah, I don't know how people, like, I know that Hololive artist, I keep fumbling her name because I don't know how to pronounce it. Ina, essentially. I know she does painting by, again, just kind of like filling it in like this underneath the line layer. But like I said, I feel like that requires like a certain amount of patience that I am just... Well, for one, is maybe ill-equipped to my streaming style, because I do like to finish things in one go. But also it's just ill-equipped for me in general, because once I finish the line art, that to me is like, you know, the hill has been passed. We're ready to start like finishing up the drawing then. And that's not really a good attitude to have if you want to have patience with something. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. But like I said, I can't help. I can't help being this way sometimes. I want to be different. Like I want to. If there is a more efficient way to do this, I want to find it. But for the moment, this just kind of brute force is how it's going to have to be. Okay, do those shadows make sense? I don't think they do. Okay, what I could try and do then is try and capitalize on the underarm shadow over here. There we go. Yeah, another dangerous thing is that sometimes if you go a little bit carelessly with the fill tool in this state, you'll end up causing lines somewhere you didn't intend them to be. Can you tell that I've kind of gotten stuck in my ways when aliased? When Alias sounds like the name of like an alternative rock band that would have shocked the world in the early aughties. Yeah, I wanted to emphasize this other finger a little bit more. Perfect. Almost perfect. I do still need to make like an armpit shadow right here. But the good news is that now that we've got like an idea for where the light angle is coming in from for the hand, it's going to make it a little bit easier to make use of some of these wrinkles. My only problem is that there's not enough distinction between like which part is the arm and which part is the armpit, but thankfully there are a couple of solutions towards that. But yeah, sheesh. This whole alias, anti-alias thing, I knew that someday I would have to confront it again. It's been like a nemesis of mine in the past. So it feels appropriate that now that I have come of age and I'm now a strapping young rice man. Or at least a young rice man. Old rice man. I'm aging, folks. I am aging fast. I'm aging before your very eyes. No, I'm just kidding, but I did feel like eventually I would have to confront it. And the fact of the matter is, it allows for much finer lines than the aliasing does, which feels weird. It feels weird because, you know, my instincts say, but like, if you have like pixel perfect precision, how is that, and how can you like, you know, it doesn't make sense to me personally how you can have pixel perfect precision and the other one still looks like finer. And again, that's because like it has those like gradients. It can look thinner because it's not actually thinner. It's just got like little gradients all along the tracks here, like nefarious little caltrops to trick your eyes into believing that it's a real picture. Now okay, the shadow looks out of place there now. Okay, and then what we can do is we go back up here, and then we actually, like, outline some of these parts in white. I said outline some of these parts in white. There we go. The fastest way to do this, I think, is to increase the size of the like, just do a big... Oh, no, hang on. That's too big of an area. That's too big of an area. We're gonna want to have it, like, a little bit more like this. That's weird. Shouldn't there be, like, shadows around here? Oh, it's because I'm using the wrong color. There we go. Okay, that looks a little bit more presentable now. That's slightly less so. Yeah. That is one big benefit of working with digital compared to, like, ink, is that you can always, like, go back and add more detail with relatively few consequences. There are some situations where you've truly screwed the pooch and there's no going back from that, but, you know, for the most part, you can pretty much backtrack whenever you need it. Yeah, I could probably use some additional lines along the ridge of the thumb to, you know, just to kind of give it more value, since it's such a focal part of it. Okay, then from there I should take a drink of water real quick. Yeah, it feels like an odd kind of night. I don't know why, like, this whole week has felt very... I say this whole week as if we aren't literally in Monday. It's only Monday, bro. The week hasn't even started yet, but I don't know why. It's just been a weird vibe. I think that's because, like, everything's slowing down on account of it being so close to the holidays, right? Like, I feel like that might be why everybody's just, like, very low energy. They're either conserving energy for a big Christmas thing, or, you know, they're just kind of, like, running on fumes trying to get everything done before Christmas. I don't know, it feels like I'm seeing less of people. I don't know, though. That might be a good thing. That probably means they're up to doing something themselves, which is always a good thing. You gotta take the good with the bad. This is an interesting idea. Having a little bit of shade coming from the helmet. And then maybe using... Yeah, okay, that looks sick as hell. Okay, and then over here we can do a little bit of shading for the arms on this lady. No, that feels weird. I don't know. I'm just gonna do some what do you call, half toning. I think more more weighty heavier. Anything heavier than that is gonna look a little bit off. You know what I suddenly miss, like, the smell of? What I suddenly miss the feeling of? Like, being near a bonfire. I'm not cold right now. I'm not even cold right now, but I feel like right now I really want to be snuggled up next to a bonfire. Yeah. It is strange, right? Like, you kind of go throughout your day. You kind of, like, have, like, random little fantasies to yourself about, like, what can fix you in that particular... in this particular week. You know, so for me, it's almost constantly like, oh, I wish I was, like, posted outside of in front of a construction site with a pair of binoculars, just, like, watching all the workers do their thing. But I think for some reason, like, right now, if I wanted anything most in the world right now, it would probably be to be near a bonfire. I don't know, it just feels like one of those days. Oh, okay, that looks kind of interesting, but I don't like it. If that makes sense. Wait, hang on. What if, like, what if we... Oh. No, that looks bad. I don't like that. All right, let's call this part right here off. We've kind of gone heavy enough on the shading for her anyway. Some cross hatching for the foot here, so we know that it's like further away. Okay, how's that look with the background? Okay. I see I missed a couple spots here, that's fine. Where's the laser, by the way? Oh, there it is. Perfect. Alright, let me just add this line here to the beam. That should do it. Okay. I really need to get the background to be like a different color, like a slightly off-white. So that I know, like, where... Okay, I see, so that... Oh, that's a good idea, though. Like, okay, what I'll do is I'll make the paper white, but then I'll have a slightly darker background color right over here. And we'll just turn this one back on whenever we need a second opinion. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Okay. And from there, I think we need to do some more shading on the background. Such as right here. Okay, then from there... We had a good thing going earlier, where we had like this kind of like a shadow right here. We want this part here to be like look kind of like spooky and mysterious. So let's keep doing that. Okay. We need to be a little bit more careful with how the fill tool works here. Yeah, the lucky thing is that, you know, the good thing is that I have something of a perfectionist mindset when it comes to, like, you know, whenever I turn on these like aliasing things, these jaggies, I kind of get put into like this perfectionist mindset, and I do need that. Like, it's not great for me, but I do need it if I want to, like, how do I put this? Like, if I want to, like, I need that kind of mindset if I want to be able to, I don't know how to put it. It's like, it's a very complicated feeling. Like, it's good that I'm suffering because that means that I'm noticing things. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like that's a deranged thing to say. Yeah, I don't know. I've been getting better at catching myself doing that. You know, like saying something that's absolutely deranged. I think it's like tolerance might not be the right word. An instinct I developed while working at the office. Maybe this is some kind of survival instinct. You know, I've cultivated it by knowing when not to talk shit to somebody because I can sense their power level. Yeah, being able to sense other people's killing intent is out. Being able to sense whether or not they could get you fired is in. I don't know. Most of my clients, I think, don't hate me. I would like to think that most of them like me, but I know some of that I've definitely pissed off a little bit. Oh well, that's show business, I guess. No, that doesn't feel quite right either. I feel like just having these vertical lines is good enough for that bit. Now the question is, how do I resolve the issue of the lamps? Because I feel like it's better if they are unlit, but I feel like that almost doesn't make sense for how this is supposed to go. Does that mean that they would just be like this? No. Oh, what if I made them like... Okay, what if I inverted them like I did the other parts? I think that would look nice. Alright, let's try that. Alright, first let's fill this place up properly. There needs to be a cleaner line right here. Okay. So right here, we're gonna add some white to these areas right here. No, that doesn't look right either. What if... Okay, so then what if... And hang on here, I feel like there's some spot missing right there. There we go. What if we had... Oh, crap. Alright, so new idea. We have Snap Eraser. What's that do? Doesn't seem to do much. Alright, so then... Okay, new idea. We have this part here, and then we're just gonna kind of... Yeah, just kind of like claw it out of there. No, that also does not feel right. I don't know how to put my finger on it. Cause see, this is too white. What I could, okay, first what I could do is I could like decrease some of the weird vibes this is giving me by inking the floor. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to grab these guys right here, stuff them in a folder, hide them away. There we go. Hang on. Is this right? No, hang on. This can't be right, because that's like in a completely different direction than what the rug was. Oh well, I guess we're doing this freestyle, I guess. Hooray! Alright, hang on. That's another like con to all this, is that when you use the wand layer, it also gets messed up by the jaggies. And you can see here that it's actually not going into the middle of it like it would normally. So yeah, that's another score against Team Jaggy. Okay. I should drink some water, that's what I should do. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? What I am gonna do is I'm gonna like grab another page that I did. I think I worked on this one on stream as well, to kind of get an idea for how I did it the last couple times. Okay, so hallway's generally white. It's just got some... Okay, I see now. Okay, I'm starting to understand a little bit better about how I need to do this then. My main concern then is kind of related to the fact that... Alright, no, wait, hang on. I think maybe I'm overthinking this. I mean, I'm definitely overthinking it, but, you know, the extent to which I'm overthinking it is gonna vary. Your mileage with overthinking may vary. Okay, so then what I can do is essentially... Oops, hang on. I lost my I lost my layer. I also wonder if it's like a bad thing for the printer to handle pages with this thick of an ink demand. Like, I imagine it's not obviously not going to be like an impossible task, but I do wonder if it's like, you know, is this one of those things that, like, the printer will hate us for? Yeah. I used to live my life by a simple set of rules. There are 3 people you never piss off. The person who delivers your mail, the person who cooks your food, and the person who cuts your hair. Those are the 3 people you never, under any circumstances, piss off. And now I gotta add printers to that list, too. It's a wacky world out there, folks. It's a wacky world. Wait, I have a radial line brush for this sort of thing. Hang on. I think what would be a better idea is actually getting an idea, lay for like which parts are going to be dark in this area. Hang on. So how exactly am I going to shade each part? Because so far... Hang on, what's this? It's like this weird line here. There we go. Yeah, years of training my mind. You know how like some people will be like, oh yeah, it's not messy if I can find everything? That's literally how sometimes working with layers is like... You're just like, don't worry, I know where it is. I just need to remember which layer it's at. It's not it's not messy. There's like a system. There's categories. There's organization. You don't understand. Okay. Let's see here. I could also start doing halftoning, but I'm hesitant to do that at this time. Mainly because I feel like when I start halftoning, I tip the hand a little too much, you know? It's like I do it a little too much. Then again, why not? Okay, so this one specific color. We're not suddenly turning this comic into grayscale, by the way. This is just kind of how I find that toning works best for me, which is by, hang on, essentially assigning different layer values to each one, and we need to alias these guys. Density, use brightness of image, this color of image. The only difficulty is that these guys come out aliased, and I'm not sure how that's gonna play with, what do you call the whole thing here. Yeah, I'm a little nervous because I don't know what these will look like when they're printed, or even when they're exported as PNGs, which is why I'm a little hesitant to use this technique. You know, it's definitely like new ground for me. Yeah, it also looks weird when you're doing it like this, you know? It's like... it just looks strange. Wait, hang on. Reflect layer, opacity, posterization. Oh, is this how we like... hang on. Oh, that's kind of weird. Wait, hang on, if I... no, okay, this trick still works. Nice. Yeah, that's the fun thing about like halftone layers, is that once you kind of get them in, it's very easy to do what you want with them. Okay, so this I think is going to look essentially like she's emerging from the dark. So I think like actually a better idea would be to smother the light a little bit up on the end here. Or maybe just have one of the lamps working very nearly at the end of the hall. Yeah, okay, that'll work. I like that idea. Alright, hang on. Gonna do a little bit of another move here. Select. Okay, I think you can actually select the contents of the layer by clicking it with Control. Okay, good. That trick does still work. Very nice. Alright, foreground to background. One of these days I'm gonna remember how to use my gradients. Well, maybe not today. Okay, brush size, decrease that. I almost feel like we need to like decrease the luminosity of it, you know, like make it so this top bar tarp. How did I like goof that and saying that in so many different ways? This top part is like very almost like pitch black. I wonder if there's like no, blurring it would not be a good idea right now. I don't think. That's weird. Usually this would influence it into like becoming like literally black. Oh, that is strange. Okay, what gives? Okay, this is the maximum amount of dark I can go, which is weird because I don't remember it having a maximum like that earlier. There has to be another way. At least I hope there is. If not, I'm kind of screwed. Maybe I'm not looking at it far away enough. Maybe that's the issue. Alright. Third time's the charm. It still bugs me, right, that I can't... Usually, like, once the layer reaches, like, a certain density, or... Density is not the right word. A certain value, it just turns black. So I don't know why it's working like this right now. There used to be a system. We had rules. We had a good thing going, you punks. Alright. Okay, what if I dip the lumen? Okay, now I think it's working. Yeah, okay. Now it's working. Okay. There we go. There's another little bit missing right here. There we go. You know what? That looks halfway decent. I'll have to export it to PNG to figure out how it actually looks, but I'm going to give that the halfway decent award for complete averageness. No, I'm just kidding. It looks good. It looks good. Yeah. Besides, the halfway decent award is quite the accolade. You know, I won several of those during my illustrious middle school career at sportsmanship at sports ball. What they don't tell you about sports ball is that it never really leaves you. Sports ball is a metaphor for life, if you think about it. I like that I can lie about this. Culturally speaking, I should be a meathead, but I just like so few sports that I never like blossomed into a full jock. I don't know. It's funny to think about like my own taxonomy and way and like how I would fit into, you know, that kind of like classic clique mindset in high school. Because like I said, I'm not really anything. Who am I kidding? I'm a prep. Alright. Okay, so that's one issue done. However, now there is the matter. Okay, first of all, like, what is going on? Okay, that is just a floor. That's just a floor texture, so it just looks gray. Nice, okay. But then, you know, to kind of justify this dramatic lighting, we do have to work the background a little bit, which might be somewhat painful, but we'll try and get there. So here's what I'm thinking. It kind of like, the shadow stops right around here, and then it kind of like shifts to this kind of like lightness. But in the meantime, we also need to have additional kind of bits of darkness, if that makes sense. Like an encroaching kind of deal. The darkness which is encroaching. An encroaching kind of darkness. I know words and also phrases in the English language. Don't you judge me. I am wondering how this happened. You know, that's what I'm trying to figure out now. Oh, maybe it's like the beam line? No, it's something else. Although that being said, I do want to erase these kind of like intersecting lines right here. They're kind of getting in the way is all. Cramping the style a little bit. Oh, I think we've got a winner. What was I doing? Right, okay. This bit right here. It's probably not a good sign that I'm just kind of zoning out in the middle of stuff, but thankfully I've got a little bit of vacation time coming up on my radar, so that's going to be nice. Yeah, I don't know what, you know, besides taking care of a couple errands, I'm not sure what I should use my holiday time for. You know, I'm one of those people who don't know how to relax. Which is a little bit of a mixed blessing, you know. On the one hand, it's good because like that means I'm never like idle, right? But on the other hand, it also means that I don't know when to get any darn rest. Yeah, you gotta find like times to give yourself rest. You know, it's like you gotta give yourself a little bit of that obligation. Okay, so first of all, we need to... what would be a good one? What would be a good one to erase? Alright, we need... Okay, so we need to erase these kind of like... You know how... You see how there's essentially like split ends right here? We need to get rid of those. They happen from time to time. I should drink some water. Okay. Okay, very gently though. This is one of those instances where we're going to have to skip the, what do you call it, the area scaling trick. Hmm. Here we go. Perfect. I get very quiet when I do precision work like that. It's just how I am. Alright, let's boost this back up into its actual amount so that we can see just how much we're obscuring. Jeez. Alright, the good news is we have like a lot of different ways to play this, which is a benefit. So one of the ones that I want to do is special ruler, radial line. Okay, so now we're gonna just kind of like grab the color white, and there we go. Now the problem with that is that it's going to look kind of weak sauce if I don't do it right. So we have to get it right very, you know, consistently. There's a fine line between like making a hodgepodge mess and, you know, pulling it off. No, something about this doesn't feel right? And I'm not sure what it is. I think maybe just the way that it was before is actually pretty decent. So what we can do then maybe is... what can we do about this? I think step one would actually be to make the outlines of Hawk's figure more visible. I don't know. What could we do to do that? I think one of the ways is definitely to do like a white border around everything, but I don't know how good that looks. Yeah, no. I'm not sure that's... I mean... no. No, I don't think so. No, that's not the way I want to do this. All right, option 2. We go back and we do some of this line art trickery thing. Well, then, I think maybe the idea would be then, you know, thinking logically, it would actually be to add some of the light element back here. I say light element. Some of the light back here. Okay. Character ink, go back here. We've left like a white line here and that annoys me. I don't... The thing about it as well is like, sometimes it's even the program playing tricks on you, because I don't know what that looks like to you guys. I don't know if you can see that, but I can very clearly... Yeah, you can... It is... Okay, it is real. It is real. Okay. There was a little white line there that I could kind of perceive at the corner of my vision. It's like it's one of those like NyQuil creatures, right? Like, yeah, I've heard about them. I haven't actually taken NyQuil very much in my life. I did it once, and it had basically zero effect on me. I took NyQuil once because I was visiting my parents, and I came down with something, and we were afraid it was like you know, the big one. So that wasn't actually the case, because like the only people I'd been around for the past 4 weeks were my parents. So neither of them had it either. So we ended up just giving me some NyQuil and hoping it would all work out for the best, and it did. But I unfortunately didn't get to experience any of the fun NyQuil nightmares. It sounds odd to be like, you know, oh man, I didn't get to see the nightmares. But the thing is, like, enough people have talked about it that I kind of feel like I'm missing out even. I could have peeped upon the horror, and I missed my chance. And now I am forlorn and melancholy. Forlorn is a word we should use more often as society, I believe. It's got a special something to it. It's got panache. It's got style. In a way that very few other words have. Forlorn. Okay, yeah. Okay, hang on. I've got an idea for how to do this then. No, hang on. Something's not right here. Alright, I've got an idea. I've got a secondary, perhaps even greater idea. Just do this a bunch. Aha, here we go. There we go. Okay. Now, of course, the question that kind of arises is, first of all, well, how are we going to reconcile... no, hang on. I can really do this bit if I really have to, but I'd rather just erase it right now. Oh, wait, actually. Hey, could we, like... No, that's too thick on to have it back there, but just thin enough that we could reasonably have this happen. And then just lower the brush size for this bit. And then give Hawk a very natural kind of white outline. No. The thing about white outlines is that they're very difficult for me to like when I do them. I think that white outlines are sick as hell, and they're a very useful tool, but I don't know, I don't like how I do them myself. If I almost like move this back. I mean, that certainly looks interesting, but I don't think that's going to be functional. That's not quite what we're aiming for. I mean, we could always try our little trick again, where we turn this into a gradient, and then hopefully that gradient works well. But it would have to be kind of weird. A little bit more like this. Wait, why is this chunk missing right here? Oh man, okay. Let's try that again. Alright, now let's try the line one. And then we can also use the soft eraser right here. Right over here. I don't know, I kind of like it like this. I kind of like the solid black. But it just doesn't look good. I don't know what I need to do here. I mean, I'll figure it out piece by piece, though. It's what I always do. Hang on, I got an idea now. First I gotta make the brush size a bit thinner. go. And like this? Yeah, I think that'll work. Yes. Okay, no. What we need, I think, is a kind of more comprehensive erasing. So I think maybe what we need to do is just have a big old razor right here. And then just kind of slide in with this huge eraser. Big eraser. Just comically large eraser, and then just kind of like go a little bit ham around the corners here. Is that gonna work? Does that work? I don't know if that works. I'm missing the bottom bit here. I'm definitely missing like the bottom piece. Alright, this should work now. And then maybe you like to have some contrast. We can have a little bit of the wall back here. Too much? That's definitely too much. Okay then, so from here, where do we go? Unless we go even larger, just really stupid huge. I'm talking about massive, just circle erase. Just like around this square area. Would now be a good time to bring out that the trick that we used up here? It might be. I think it might be. I think now's the time. Okay, let's try this. I see. Muy bien. Okay, that went in the complete opposite direction that I was hoping for it to go. But that's okay. I am a normal individual who can handle things that don't go according to plan. Never mind. Okay, first of all, we're missing a little bit right here. Yes, procrastination from my responsibilities. That's how we do it. Actually, I think this kind of creates a nice contrast. I think this... I feel like this works. I'm gonna leave it there for now. I might come back to it later. Need to close my... What would I close instead of my eyes? Maybe I would just like scrunch the lid of my head down real hard to kind of like relieve some tension. That's actually a nice, you know, for people who do have eyes, I do hear that a valuable trick is actually squeezing your eyes shut as hard as you can for like 5 to 10 seconds. And then just releasing it, and apparently that's supposed to relax your eye muscles a little bit. I think that I also would need to make the jetpack be completely white, because then I feel like I would either need to obscure it completely, which doesn't work because you need to be able to see the jetpack, or I make it pure white, which I think is what I'm going to go for, because if there are shadows, and they're going to be very difficult to like tell apart with a jetpack. Yeah, that doesn't create a what do you call it, a tangent. We're good. We should be fine. Okay, let's move on to the next panel. It's been a million years. Okay, so I think my first decision is gonna be an executive decision to make sure that the, what do you call, the background and the character panels are very clearly marked, and neither of them have like a lot of stuff going on. Simple doesn't always cut it, but I think in this case it's almost like necessary. Vital even for my survival. Okay. I'm just gonna fill in that. Oh, we missed a spot right here. Can't have that. Yeah, these are supposed to be like pinstripe pants, but I might just leave them unpinstriped for the moment. I don't know, do people actually like pinstripes? I like the way they look, but I don't, you know, I'm definitely not a fashion conscious person. It could be the suit equivalent of wearing Crocs, and I would never know. You could tell me that, and I would believe you. Like I said, I'm personally a fan of them. Yeah, I have like a very nice suit that I bought, that my parents bought me one time, that I still have. I'm not sure if it even fits anymore. I'll need to check soon. But I do have a suit that, like a decently nice suit, and the texture, the fabric of it, does have like a very, very, almost imperceptible pinstripe pattern, and I love it. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing that they don't tell you about, like, after you're 18, you still keep growing for a little bit. Maybe wider instead of taller, but you definitely keep growing. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now the move would be to shade up the pants a little bit. Keep the background out of it. Shade up the pants. Black hair? Yeah, black hair. That means I should make the hair black in the first panel too. Yeah, I really like black hair and like dark hair colors. I actually struggle to draw characters with like blonde or like, you know, light hair colors, because I like instantly get the urge to like turn them one pitch darker. Like I try to draw my Sona with, I think I've told this story before, but I have tried drawing my Sona with blonde hair, and I almost gagged when I saw the end result. It was that bad. I mean, granted, I can make anything look good, but like at the same time, I'm not gonna subject myself to that for just for kicks, you know? Okay, maybe we can use the same halftone layer for the shadows inside the sleeves. No, I think I should just leave the sleeve shadows black as well. No. Unless... No. I need to leave that one at least white. Although, what I could do, on the other hand, as I activate every brain cell in my body... Theoretically, I have like 0 brain cells theoretically, because there's no actual gray matter to speak of up here. It's just rice. So when I say I'm activating all of my brain cells, that's, you know, that might be a little bit of a generous assessment of what's actually happening. How did that one phrase go? There was this one comic, or like this one joke that went like, I took this pill that makes my brain 300% like more efficient, and they're like, wow, so you're smart now? No, I'm stupid faster. I always thought that joke was really funny. That's how I feel like that's what coffee does to me sometimes. If you drink too much coffee at once, you don't get better, you just get faster. Yeah, too much caffeine also increases anxiety, so do watch your dosage, yeah? God. Something they don't tell you, right? And I've been thinking about this recently because I've been doing a lot of it recently. Something they don't tell you about like making a fantasy world is that you are going to come up with some of the stupidest gosh dang names ever graced on Earth, and you're going to need to say them with a straight face, or else you won't be able to sell the bit. This is all a result of the fact that, okay, so I have original characters. If you followed my the stream for a long time, you will know that I have original characters. I have an original character world, which I attempt to develop every now and again. And part of the things in that world is that there are these like weird animals running around that have been like mutated by a strange force. And now essentially the animals have superpowers. So for example, like there's a bear that can phase through walls. There's like a deer that can like use its antlers as a railgun. It's a whole thing and a half. So I was trying to figure out like a name for these things besides like weird. The thing about me as well is that I also hate using 2-word names where I can help it. I just don't like you doing it. So naturally. This creates a little bit of a conundrum because, you know, names, words, and all that jazz are a very unique, you know, the word bird, for example. We don't know where the word bird came from, I don't think. We kind of know, but we don't really know. So what that means is that theoretically the word bird can just mean literally anything, but it somehow became a word. What I'm leading to with all of this, right, is the fact that if you want to make up a new word, it needs to have like some kind of background context that'll make it work. And unfortunately, that context is, again, very... The thing about language is that a lot of it is highly descriptive, right? A lot of it is based around the idea that, you know, everybody in a society knows what a thing is, so they all have like a similar word for it. You know, like people like that's where like loan words comes from. The concept of loan words is from the fact that English has so many unique phrases that other places just don't understand or don't have an equivalent of it, so they need to make one up. And essentially what this all translates to for your old buddy Pabs is that I essentially spent like hours upon hours on Wikipedia trying to figure out, okay, so the origin of this word is originally Germanic, and it means this, and that. But the way I'm going to use it, it's going to mean like this, and that, and it's just like kind of like doing that. I'm just like on hours in Wiktionary. Wiktionary? How do you pronounce the dictionary for Wikipedia. Wiktionary? I feel like that's the one. I feel like Wiktionary should be the right one, but what do I know, honestly? Anyway, I spent like hours upon hours on that site, just trying to look at the origins of words, just trying to figure out like, okay, what kind of equivalent can I use? And very often, the fact is that there is no like correct equivalent, which is a bit of a pickle for me, because that essentially means that I have to, even though, gosh, I get on such weird tangents, but essentially the issue that arises is the following. I looked at I wanted a name for like a weird kind of animal, all well and good. So I go to find the name for the weird animal, which leads, I'm trying to think of it like, would it be called like a bird, or like would it be called like some kind of like, would it have a unique name for each one? No, it has to have like a unique, like it has to be like a taxonomy, right? Like I want to have like a generic term to use for all of these weird animals. And eventually, the one that I kind of settle on is parametazoan. So metazoan is a very broad description, which essentially is used to describe any animal which is not like a fungus. That's what metazoan means. It just means like any animal that is not a fungus. Like it encompasses a wide range of creatures. So I thought, okay, so it's not exactly metazoan, it's something greater than metazoan, so it's a parametazoan. And you kind of roll the word in your mouth around a little bit. You're like, should I call it like a PMA or something? Like, should we do it in an abbreviation style? What should we do with it? And the fact of the matter is, no matter what you do, you're still essentially making up a word for a thing that doesn't exist. So, no matter how self-conscious about it you get, no matter how much you try to kind of like make it the perfect word that it can be. Oh, what is going on there? We need to increase the frequency of that, and yeah, we need to really increase the frequency of that. Yeah, that's another thing as well, right? Like, to preserve the same skin tone across different like perspectives, you're going to need to play around with like the odd density a little bit. I think that works though. Yeah, I need to get less conscious about the dumb things that I call my made-up things, because somebody's always going to think that it's dumb. And that somebody shouldn't have to be me. Yeah. I don't know. I have like this weird need, which I think started when I started like reading TV tropes at like the age of 13 or something. I have like this weird need to have like some kind of realistic element to everything. Like even the smallest, even the most contrived, ridiculous magic thing that I have, I feel like I have a personal need to make it feel like it could happen in real life, right? So like I like hard science. I like having that element of reality to it. But unfortunately, that also means that I have to create a lot of like, it kind of all warps back around to the same problem where like, if you want to make a new word, you need to get into the mindset of the people making these words. But unfortunately, the mindset of most of these people is just like, this is just what we've always called it. This is a thing that we've known since forever. Why are you asking us how we named it? So that's where making up fake names gets a little bit difficult. Yeah, and Lord knows that I'm not gonna go get myself like a... What the hell? Oh, oops. Hang on. I just realized what happened. I forgot that this layer had like a little bit of white to it. This is all to say that you should never become a creative person, and you should always, like, just stay in your own lane. Yeah, that's the message that I want to take away from all of this. That was sarcasm, by the way. What they don't tell you about becoming like a creative person, about somebody who creates stuff, is that you can never go back to being a person who doesn't create stuff. Like, even if you physically cannot create anymore, you will still be a person who creates stuff. And it is a wonderful feeling when it starts going your way. But part of that wonderful feeling is understanding the anguish when it doesn't. You know, you have to take the bad with the good. Or you have to take the... Well, no, you have to take the bad with the good in this scenario. Yeah. For me personally, it's a matter of just having something that I can think on for long periods of time without needing to rush it. Like, I'm a fairly impatient person. I have patience with people, I have patience with, with lots of different things. I don't really have patience when it comes to creation. So it's important to make up these, like, brain projects for yourself to kind of stew on while you go about your daily life. Because otherwise you're not going to really get a chance to work on them and focus. I mean, sometimes you do need to spend that, like, quality time ruminating on an idea properly and coming up with a solution with a design, or kind of like how I did. You need to spend a little while in front of the Wiktionary page for animal and figure out, like, what do we call this thing. But I feel like that's also part of the joy of it. You need to sleep on it a little bit, right? Once you have it, you need to sleep on it to make sure that it makes sense. But it is that feeling of finally getting something that you're satisfied with, that you kind of want to experience over and over again. I mean, once you start getting into, like, the conversation of, well, why do people create? It's like, why do people do anything, really? And that's because they get something out of it. Sometimes that something is just as simple as being able to do something new, but, that varies from person to person. But yeah, and like I said, it's actually kind of fun because you have to, this process of figuring out a new word is actually kind of interesting, because you realize that, one, there are words for stuff that you've never heard of, and two, you kind of have to think about, like, where do the words that we use come from. English isn't my first language. I know a lot of the Spanish stuff is from Latin. Most of it is from Latin. Almost all of it is from Latin. But, English has a lot of different influences. Yeah. Personally, I try to use, like, Greek terms. I feel like those are fairly inoffensive for the most part. So, like, and, because a lot of what I do is more on the cerebral side, like, I want to have, like, scientific terms for these things. Science already uses Latin and Greek as a lot of the pulls for its language. Greek for philosophy and, well, Latin for scientific. Should I? No. But, yeah, I'm gonna unshade this bit right here. I'm gonna get the shadow out of it. I just feel like it looks better like this. Okay, we need to do two more things to this place. We need to do something with that door back there. or we need to like add some kind of like light, what do you call, half toning to kind of like really make the lady here pop. So what we can do is we can go back to the background layer, start just like jumping these guys up. Yeah, especially because after these first few pages, it's no longer like a super like horrifying atmosphere. I mean, obviously it's still menacing, but it's gonna become like a little bit more lighthearted. But these first few pages, I really wanted to emphasize like the horror angle. But as that kind of wanes, I can start using more and more half-toning, particularly since it makes my life a lot easier. I did actually try cross-hatching, but again, it just doesn't work as well as just like doing it with half-toning and, this did. It had some interesting stuff going on, but it didn't look as good. And again, main problem, does it look good in the end? If the answer is no, then try something else. I should drink some water. Well, that's strange. No, I think I should leave this top part of the roof as is. In fact, maybe I need to make it a little darker. Wait, no, there's a light back here. I need to remember that as well. Okay, so which one of these is... Okay, it's this one. Yeah, that's also the other thing that I'm worried about when I start using way too much halftone, is that it all starts to look a little bit samey after a little while, like... It all starts to have the same kind of, gray tones, and that's an important thing that I need to watch out for. Okay, we actually need to do it like this. Because when you touch like this and you do it like that, look like this and do it like that, come on, shake, 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 baby. What I need to start doing as well, and this is something that I've been meaning to get around to doing, is that I need to start varying my background music. I don't know how much... The track that I've got going on is by audionautics.com. Called One Fine Day, and while I do enjoy it, I feel like I've played it so long in my streams that some of you might be starting to develop a love-hate relationship with it. I could turn it off for a minute if you guys like. However, music is one of those things that's always bugged me a little bit, because like, on the one hand, you have like this... Oh, hang on. New idea. Why not? Hang on, just get rid of this part here. Oh, actually, another thing we can do is actually lighten it up back here. And then for a little bit of more dramatic shadow, we can have it just be pure black up here. Yeah? If that's the case, I would have to move these rafters, this molding. Now that I know the word now. I'd have to move this molding down a couple of pegs. There we go. Yeah, I feel like that reads fairly well. Then what we can also do is actually do that same kind of similar trick to before, where we just had like a white light back here. And then to make sure that it makes sense, we could add a little bit of the lamp back here. We can add a little bit more detail than that, though. You know, make sure that it's nice and presentable. Particularly since this is the close-up, we want it to look nice. Although that raises a slightly different problem in that now you can see where we basically amputated the molding. Oh well. Rules of nature, I guess. Can't be helped. Then one more over here. Perfect. Okay. And from there, we can just cover up those two little bits there. All right. Now maybe this might be an appropriate time for an outline, though. This might be the right time to give the character a white outline. Yeah, okay. I think that's much less noticeable than it otherwise would be. Maybe even bigger. Oh no, Emelian is developing a force field. Actually, I do think that looks nice. I think that's the way to go. Okay, that panel's done. We can move on to the next one. I'm gonna take a second to like uncrunch my wrists a little bit here. Like I said, it's been a little bit of a weird vibe today. I don't know how to describe it, and I really can't put my finger on it, but it feels like everything is, off. Not exactly asleep, just off. Actually, no, that might be that might be a very kind of like appropriate comparison. It feels like You know, like when you can tell that your computer is still active, but it's like supposed to be in sleep mode? You know, like you turn off your computer, but you can still hear the fans going in there, and you know that it's just getting up to some stuff. I feel like that's what the world feels like right now. It feels like it's not active, but it's just like also not active. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to get like these random feelings of just weird dread. You know, I don't know how else to describe it. Like I used to get like these spells where I would just feel like, you know, something bad was going to happen. That, in retrospect, that might be a sign of generalized anxiety, but, you know, that aside... Oh, this hand looks a little tiny. What can we do about that? Oh, I think what we can do about that is maybe just make the forearm slightly smaller, and then this part here slightly bigger. And obviously increase the size of the actual hand itself. That would be another good first step, another good step forward. Just have the knuckles over here. Yeah, being a Sonic fan as a child means that now when you say the word Knuckles, you can't not ever think of the Red Echidna. Like that's just your friend Knuckles now. You guys are bonded for life. Yeah. I think, well, I mean, obviously that's probably not just a Sonic fan thing. I imagine that's very true for, like, a lot of people who just, like, have that as, you know, they have, like, those fixations as a child, and that's gonna just be with them forever. You know, word association and what have you. Okay, over here. Oh, that's right. We do actually need to finish coloring the rest of this in white so that it doesn't interfere with the background. There's no background in this panel, but it's still just good practice in case I do want to add a background. For some deranged reason. Okay, here we go. But yeah, the main goal of this, I think, is to eventually get good enough at this process that I can just comfortably do it. You know, for me, and this is weird, and I don't encourage that everybody act this way, because not everybody will need it for the same purpose. But for me, usually when I want to create something, and when I want to practice something, it's because I want to get faster at it. Like I said, when it comes to creating stuff, I'm a very impatient person. Again, that's kind of why streaming when I work is perfect for me, because then, you know, I have a time limit for myself. And it's not just like an arbitrary thing, it's also like, I don't know how to put it, it's like part of the spectacle even. Being able to do things in a short amount of time. I do think my turnaround on just art in general has gotten faster, which I attribute 100% to the streaming thing. Then again, it also, you know, when I'm streaming, right, I also kind of have to focus, because that's another reason why I think I can pull off what I do in like 3 hours, is because usually at least one, when I'm working normally, at least 1.5 of those hours is going to be like just like scrolling through music on YouTube, just listening for something new to listen to. So obviously that wastes time. Yeah. It is weird, right? You procrastinate even on things that you want to do properly. The fact of the matter is, our brains are loathsome little bastards who would rather take the easy hit of dopamine than, force yourself to do do the actual thing that you want to do. So you have to be able to train your brain into, well, not even train your brain, but essentially train yourself, train your discipline, give yourself a reason to do it anyway. Yeah, like I've mentioned this before. Like I said, streaming is that kind of like obligation for me. It's a promise that I've made to myself and to others that I will make something today. And I cannot stress how important that is for somebody like me. We all have different things that'll like, get us moving. For some people, that's like, sometimes it's just very easy and they can just like flip it like a switch. And for other people, it's like insurmountably hard no matter what they do. It's definitely a tough situation, but again, that's the reason why you have to make stuff anyway, because then when you keep making stuff anyway, you learn more about yourself as a creator. You learn more about the way you do things, the way you best operate, and your kind of ideal working conditions, essentially. No, that doesn't feel right. No, that makes it look like an elbow, which is worse. May not even having this bottom part blacked out? No. The opposite. There we go. There we go. Yeah. This week the meal is gonna be dumplings. I made a bunch of a bunch of gyoza last night. I've just been eating it over rice. Pretty good, I'd say. Like I am known to enjoy gyoza. Yeah, I used to be more fancy with it. I would used to like... The thing is, right, sometimes less is more, right? And that's a lesson I didn't quite understand when I was first making gyoza. So when you make gyoza, the way you do it, right, is you fry the gyozas on the pan with oil. You dump some water in there, preferably cold water, and then you let the water cook off, and then you open the thing, you uncover the pan, and then hang on, there we go. And then what you do is that how do I do this shadow right here? Come on, brain. Anyway, after the water has boiled off, you uncover the pan, and that's when you kind of go in and just let them fry a little bit longer. So you just let them, you fry them the first time, and then you steam them in the pan, and then you just let them fry a little bit longer, and that's how they get nice and crispy. And what I didn't realize is that the kind of key to getting them nice and crispy is that the water is completely boiled off, so the dumplings have more time to like cook, you know, they have time to crisp up. I didn't quite understand this, so what I ended up doing a lot of the time, most of the time, is that I would actually mix like different spices and even like little bits of chicken bouillon into the water that I would use to steam the gyoza. And while it gave them like a specific flavor, what it didn't do, actually I think I used to use cooking wine too, which would work in hindsight, you know, using cooking wine in addition to water, I think. But yeah, I used to use all kinds of other different stuff, and they would always get kind of like soggy because they didn't have that chance to like cook a second time because of all the substrate in the way. There we go. But yeah, this is your hot tip. Read the instructions on the back of the package, because sometimes they have like better ways of cooking stuff that you already knew how to cook. And that's how I learned about the trick of like frying them a second time after you finish steaming them. Wait, no, hang on. Gotta keep going here. There we go. Perfect. Oh yeah, we need to have that mesh texture on the bottom of the pistol. It wouldn't be visible in this panel, but it would be visible in this one. Okay, so then the way I do that normally, wrong layer, is that I actually go select this bit here and this bit here. Thankfully, because this is actually like I have to... Ooh, never mind, hang on. Hang on. One moment, please, folks. There we go. A nice kind of like little, what do you call it, like a exhaust system. That's the word. I am worried because it looks like there's still a lot of jaggies, and I'm not sure how that's going to influence stuff. I went for the lowest possible level of, what do you call, that thing that I was mentioning earlier. Aliasing. I went for the lowest possible level of anti-aliasing. So I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. I'd rather not have to learn the hard way, but sometimes, you know, I imagine there will be a way to like test print this if we do end up printing it. So I want to see what happens when we try it that way. Okay. There we go. Okay, then the next part I think is going to be the skin tone, which which I'm again gonna just kind of copy from over here. I think we can copy the one from this layer over here, no problem. We might have to make it slightly lighter, depending on... Hang on. No, I think that'll work. Again, that's what always throws me off. Usually when you're working in normal... Hang on. Okay, that works. Hang on. What just happened here? Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong layer. Yeah, because dots feel relative. Again, and I don't have much experience working with halftoning. I usually use it as like a novelty bit. So I don't know how it'll translate to when it's actually printed. I need to be very careful with that. Okay, and then over here. No, that's too big for the shadow. Okay, let's think about how a human chest would work. Or, I guess, alien chest. Alright, okay, so that would kind of go like this, I believe. Alright. Okay, I don't think we're going to be able to do like solid coloring on this. I'm just going to substitute it for like a bunch of lines. Yeah, like right here, for example, what I can do is I can just remove this part, but keep the armpit shading. And that's kind of how we're going to do that. Very good. Should I just leave that the back of that panel white? Or maybe I can add some kind of pattern back there. Or maybe I should just like focus on the next part to shade. Decisions. Oh, I know a nice simple background we can do for this one. Alright. Then over here. Yeah, I think that creates like a nice kind of contrast to the panel above. Then, okay, last panel. Okay. Alright. So I think first steps is gonna be shading this part here. Again, I say shading, just gonna be filling in the lines. Again, hang on, why is this 95%? Does that say 95%? Oop. 95%. Why does that say 95%? Oh, it's because... Wait, did I turn on the opacity on this thing by accident? Well, 95% is pretty close to 100, which explains why I didn't notice anything. I need to be more careful with that. Messing around with opacity can be quite the adventure. Yeah, I used to be very confused about opacity, but then it all became... I used to be confused by transparency, but then it all became very clear to me. Okay, fill that in. Perfect. Okay, there we go. Wait, why is there this line here, though? That does make sense to me. Oh, that's like part of the glove. Okay. Hang on, I gotta fix this real quick. There we go. By making the line thinner, we've kind of avoided disaster there. We have stalled catastrophe, as it were. Yes, very good. Old posh people are the funnest accents to imitate. Because it's so easy to get into it, because like nothing you do is too far-fetched, because rich people just have strange accents. They just talk very funny. Like, I remember there was like that... I remember one scene in a cartoon I watched where they were like imitating yuppies, right? And it was like the most comically overdone thing. I don't even know what they were going for, but I could just like tell that it was supposed to be rich people accents, you know, besides from context scenes in the cartoon. But like, it's very difficult to do a wrong rich person impression. That's what I think that's the main kind of gist of what I'm trying to get at. Oh, I missed a spot up here. And here too, apparently. There we go. And after that, what we would need is to just fill in these lines here. Yeah, I think panel 1 was definitely the most complex part of this. I do believe that. Oh, I missed another couple spots here. Should the hair go over the ear? Nah, ear over the hair. Rule number 1 of writing characters with pointy of drawing characters with pointy ears: always prioritize the ear shape. Not just because it's good to have a very distinguishable silhouette, but also like otherwise, what's the point? Why are you going to make a character pointy-eared if it's never gonna come up? Yeah, I mean, there's two alternate ways to do that, right? Like, what I mean is, why would you make a character very visibly, or like, say that this character has pointy ears without actually making their ears, without actually showing that their ears are pointy? Like, they have one of those weird dorky hats that look like this, right? Like, why, if they're wearing that forever, for the entire time they're on screen, then, like, why would you, like, if it's that character specifically that has pointy ears, then why would you give them pointy ears, right? Have some other strange thing be strange about them if you don't want to, like, show their ears, but, like, don't just, like, do that and just say they have pointy ears and not really make a thing out of it. Again, two big reasons: silhouette and just the fact that, like, why else would they have pointy ears if not to show them off? From a diegetic standpoint, Because of the way that this is shaded, then it doesn't really look like she's running. So I think, like, I almost need to exaggerate the leg back here. Is that a good call? I do feel like that's the right call. It feels like the right call to me. What we can do is actually just, like, hang on. There we go. Okay, there we go. This is also why I was hoping to add pinstripes to the outfit, because then it's just easier to see where if the character is actually running. Okay, there we go. Alright, shade that bit there. Perfect. Again, I'm not sure. I've been, like, double filling some of these to make sure that it fills to the very brim, but I am wondering if that's going to cause essentially the same problem but different when it comes to the printing stage. And the worst part of it is that there is no right answer, right? Like, there is no gold and silver bullet to make sure that everything comes out nicely. Although I imagine there is. There has to be, like, a thing to ensure that it all comes out easily, but all the same, it still gives me a little bit of anxiety. Hang on. I got a better idea for how to do this. There we go. Okay. This part here too. No, hang on. We need to like leave that part clear. Okay. Should I add some shadow under the collar? I feel like I should add some shadow under the collar. No, no, that looks strange. That does not make sense to me. Actually, why not leave it like... I feel like we've done plenty, actually. There we go. I feel like I should also thin up the line right here in the middle here. Drop that down a little bit lower. Alrighty, then we need to shade Emelian's skin. I think the same kind of density as the previous panel should do just fine for this one. Oh, accidentally got our teeth too. There we go. Alright, and then we do the maid in the back. Alright, I think the maid is missing some pieces back here. There we go. Perfect. It feels weird to kind of like do the extra little bits to make sure that it's like nice and even on the fill. Given that the actual like thing, the actual vibe of it is supposed to be like messy and like cartoonishly mean looking. I mean, granted, if these bozos came strutting up to my house and started wrecking the place, I would also get this mad, but still. Come on now. There we go. Then just this little bit right here. Perfect. Okay, and then I think we can do a similar idea to... how do we do this? I think this might be a good time for the radial blur, actually. Not radial blur, radial line. Alright, here we go. I picked up this trick very recently. You can make a very nice kind of like a manga, what do you call special effects pattern. You know, obviously I think like even around here there's like a speed line effect, right? Yeah, like this. But I want to try what I wanted to try and do. No, I should just try and use the pattern. That's what it's there for. But I'll still show off the trick, though. I'll use the pattern, but I'll also show off the trick that I've been learning to do, which is a lot of fun. But it makes Clip Studio Paint cry a little bit. All right, hang on. I download this thing from the cloud. Okay, get rid of this. Right above the made one, I imagine it'll be, yeah. Expand that a little bit. Alright, nice. Alright, let's turn off the helping tone here and take a final look at what we've accomplished today. You know, I think we did a fairly good job. It's a little bit lighter on the shading than the other pages, but I think that is more to its benefit than to its detriment. Sometimes having too much really is just too much. Okay, I think I'm going to end the stream here then. Thank you everyone for coming by. I hope you all had a great time, and I will see you all later. Bye.